RxDX curling a bit here. I'm going to watch that into open. So I am going to watch RxDX into open. If we can break over VWAP, we might have some potential there. But like I said, the only issue is we don't really have any levels to work with on the chart since it is at all-time highs. So we have to use probably the whole number 100 as our risk. Yeah, you've got that 130 level. So we'll see what we can work with here. Definitely something to keep an eye on, along with MMAT. Alright, so we've got about 10 minutes until open. Not a whole lot moving right now, so just a matter of waiting. Just make sure you take the next 10 minutes to prepare for market open. So your setups from the watch list, MMAT, RMED, SMMT, and NIU. Get all those levels up and ready to go. Yeah, the last 10 minutes always drags out. RxDX breaking over that 100 level here. So if it can break over VWAP, I might look to place some on a pullback. But we'll see. We've got room to that 115. We're going to have to play psych levels here because it is at all-time highs. So you've got the 110, 105, 115, and then 120, and so on. Got about 8 minutes left. And RxDX pretty much taking up all the volume this morning, it looks like on the scanner. So MMAT, I wouldn't be surprised if this did meet criteria after open. It's holding this level really nice up here in the 2.4s. So if we see a 254 break with some volume, look to grab a pullback, risking that 243 again. And then our 285 and 3.2 targets. So risk to reward is really nice there, about 9 cents of risk and about 30 cents of reward, 30 to 60. Actually, yeah, roughly 30 to 70, 30 to 60. It's definitely a nice risk to reward, about 5 to 1, 6 to 1. Got about 5 minutes to go. And eventually market will open. It feels like it's taking forever. I'm going to keep an eye on SPRC too, like I said earlier. If we see strength back over the 125 area, I'll say strength over 124. Look for a pullback and maybe risk that 117. I'd like to risk the 124 though, just because if we break back below, not really a fan. But yeah, it's probably going to be another hot day. Yesterday we cut SMMT a few times, and it looks like we're gonna do the same again today. Not with SMMT obviously, but I think we'll catch something else. I think we'll definitely catch something else. Tons of volatility out there, tons of momentum out there. It's just a matter of watching the scanner until we see something pop up. Alright, so I'm keeping my eye on RXDX. And I want to see it confirm a break over that VWAP again. I don't mind it where it is right now, but I need to see more volume first before I really do like it. 31 mil float. Looks like their news this morning was on a bowel disease, so that's pretty funny. But I haven't seen something like this gap up 170% in pre-market in a long time. 190% actually now. So I'm going to watch RXDX on VWAP break. And then like I said, we've got room on RXDX to 110, 115, 120. What time frame to see VWAP? To see VWAP, just turn on VWAP and it should be similar on all time frames, if not the same. Yeah, it should be the same on all time frames. And I'm using VWAP 14, which should be the default on whatever you're using. So if you're on interactive, I don't know if it's 14. You might have to set your own settings or whatever it is. No, SMMT is not valid here. I'd be careful with it. Lower lows. MMAT starting to see some sellers here into open, so primarily going to be watching RXDX. For me to like SMMT again, I'd need to see strength back over 2 after a flush. I do like RXDX though. I know a lot of you can't trade. I think it's what, 3 or 2 minutes before market opens, so I'll wait on RXDX. I won't look to take any before open. Although I do like it here, but I'll wait it out. I think it pops to 110 at open. I have 30 seconds until market open. But yeah, if you can trade before market open, I know some of you can't, but if you can, that pullback on RXDX was really nice. So I'll be watching this VWAP break on RXDX for a move to 110. And then over 110 you have 115 and 120. And that's risking that 100.4 level. Definitely my #1 watch into open, just because it is really the only gapper that's holding up into open. MMAT seeing sellers, everything else seeing sellers except for RXDX, so I'd keep it on your radar. Alright, watch RXDX here. You likely see a flush, and then move back to that 110. You know, bios like this that have nice news in pre-market, they tend to get these price target upgrades later in the day that kind of push the stock higher. So, interested to see how this plays out on RXDX. And there's your 110 on RXDX. Like I said, looking for a pop to that 110 at open, and it just popped right to 110. Right to 110. Literally picture perfect on RXDX. Literally perfect. I don't know if you guys caught that, but that pop at open was literally perfect. And if you didn't catch the entry, it's no longer valid. You see that strong rejection off 110. But like I said, I thought that was going to pop to 110 at open, and we got that exact pop. Yeah, don't go chasing the pullback on that now. It's strong sellers off that 110. But that was really, really nice, though. Alright, so let's see what else we got here. I have my eyes on SMMT again, seeing some rejection off 208. So for me to like SMMT again, like I said earlier, I want to see strength and some consolidation around that 2 area. And if we can see higher lows around 2, I would risk that 186 from the watch list. But like I said, I need to see confirmation first. But yeah, what a nice start to the day. If you guys didn't catch it, just take some notes on it, on that RXDX. Alright, I'm going to keep my eye on this SMMT. And probably later this morning if we do play it at all. because we need to see that consolidation around that 2 range before we look for a pullback entry. See if SPY can make that move back to 394.80. Alright, so we want to see a break over 2 on SMMT and some consolidation over 2, and then we can grab a pullback. Looks like nothing else meeting entry criteria just yet. NIU flushing here. I'm watching MMAT on the flush too. Keep in mind we did have 2 plans on MMAT from the watch list. And we have $2 as risk, but I don't know if I really agree with the $2. So let me pull up the chart over here on TradingView and see if I can just make sure I like that level, because on the 5-minute, I feel like we'd actually need 208 as risk. I like the 2 level, but I also like the 208 level, so it's definitely hard to decide which one I like more. Yeah, I'll probably stick with 2. Yeah, I'm gonna stick with $2 risk on MMAT, so we need to see that flush under 208. Here's some strength on SMMT over that 2. Alright, SMMT kind of squeezing up here. So that flush, in hindsight, is playing out how we expected, but only thing is we did see those clear lower lows. So without confirmation, you can't really enter anything like that. But we can look for a pullback on it now. And I would actually risk the $2 level if you wanted to play that. I'm going to watch it for a minute. I want to see some confirmation. Like I said, consolidation over 2. So I want to see it consolidate around this area for probably a couple minutes. I want to see a few candles close. And this is why right here. You see just how volatile the second candle is. Alright, I like that pre-market low of 197 on SMMT. I'll take some SMMT, low 2s, risking that 196, 197. For a move to 220. Let's see if we can get that break of 210. Watching this MMAT flush as well. It's nearing that criteria we were talking about earlier. And here you go on SMMT. Here's 210. And I'm scaling some out here at 210. Scaling some out at 210, 211, 212. And we're scaling out nicely on the way up. My stops are now at entry on SMMT. Stops are now at entry on SMMT, so it cannot be a red trade. But here's 210 already on SMMT off that pullback, 212. Really nice trade from 206. Really, really nice trade off that pullback. Only issue now is we've got that overhead EMA, the 200 EMA, right at that 218. So that's going to act as a pretty strong level of resistance here for us. But we do have stops at entry just in case it does reject. So here's 212. We want to see 212 break. Here's 213. I'm still scaling into strength. I have my stops at entry. Mental stops at entry. And we're getting 213 now. Here's 213, 214 breaking, 215, and we're nearing that 220 target. And I've only got about a third left in this. Moving my stops up to 209. And here's 215 now. 216. What a trade off that flush, guys. Nearing that 216 now, and I'm pretty much all out. I've got a quarter left. Beautiful trade. So now we want to see it hold this 210. So stops are raising to 210. And now we want to see that 220 next. If we can break that 220, we have room to 230, and we've got a quarter left in here. All right, here's 217. We want to see that 220 break. Stops are at 210 above my entry. So make sure you are raising your stops and scaling out. We want to break that 220. Struggling at this 217. But I do have stops at 210 for my last quarter. Hard stops. Not mental. I have hard stops at 210, and I'm just going to keep on raising my stops until I get stopped on this last quarter. We're just going to get as much out of this as we can. But we're risking this 210 now. And that was literally a perfect trade. We altered our plan a little bit. We were risking that 186 on the watch list, but we saw that strength over 2. And I like that 197 low from pre-market, and it worked out awesome for us. All right, so let's see. We're consolidating nicely in the 215. But let's see if we can get buyers over 217, 218. Testing two. Here's a new high of day of 218. But we need to see buyers take it over 218 for that 220. That's going to be a really hard level to break. Still testing this 217. And I still have stops at 210 for this last quarter. Yeah, some sellers hitting the tape up here. Nearing, and I'm out. I'm out with profit there on SMMT. So really, really nice trade there. Overall, about 205 to 217, 215-ish. But a really, really good way to start the day for sure. First alert of the day, and a win. All right, let me get this typed up here. So we got 205 to 217. And that was a really, really nice way to start the day. About a 6% gain. SPY testing that 394 I was talking about earlier, that 394.80. RXDX hitting the scanner again here. And I'm going to continue to watch that one as well. If we can break out of this little downtrend we have after open, break back over that 104 at VWAP. MMAT, yeah, let me get my eyes on that. Still clear downtrend, Peter. Remember what you did on Neo. So we need to see a break out of that first. If you're risking that 1.8, that's a dangerous game. Alright, so Peter, I'm going to send a picture of what we need to see, just so you kind of know. There you go. So we need to see strength over that level first, and then we can, yeah, and then get a pullback. RNAZ getting some volume here. 11 million shares traded so far today. 8 mil float. So it's already traded its float once. Alright, you're getting a downtrend break here on MMAT. Yeah, but Dice, even if you have the EMAs far away like that, if you're in a clear downtrend, there's no reason to take a position in it. So now if we see consolidation around 208, we can catch a pullback, risking that too. But we need to see a little bit of confirmation around here. And I want to see it below 208 for entry. I don't want to get above 208. Already 213. Alright, I'm going to put that on the back burner for now. Because I want to see strength around the 208. I don't want to take it anywhere higher. I'm going to take a look at RNAZ, which I just saw some volume on. Yeah, nothing to play there right now. MMAT already hitting targets, so probably not going to end up trading that one. I'm watching RXDX here. I'll take some RXDX. Let's see. I'll take some RXDX on the 103s. Maybe not. Typing up the alert and it's already knifing. I'm probably not going to take any. Yeah. I'm going to stay out unless we get strength back around 103 again. And risk is going to be 101.5 on our XTX if we do get entry there. So I want to see strength here again, 103s. I don't know if we're going to get a play here on our XTX. No, we're not. Yeah, no, we had two different plans for MMAT. Which I really don't mind it up here risking 208. But I don't want to adjust my plan, but at the same time I do like it. Yeah, let's do that. Let's do that. I'm going to take some on a pullback risking 208. I actually do like it more on the 4 hour. And then targets are going to be 2-3 to 2-4. If you don't like the new plan, don't trade it. But that's what I'm seeing on the 4 hour. Yeah, but we did the same thing on SMMT. That wasn't a plan that we had either. I changed the plan on both. Alright, so anyways, let's see 220 break on MMAT now. See if we can get the buyers keep on coming in here. You're not trading it again. When did you trade it the first time? Here's 220 on MMAT. We want to see 220 break now. 210 to 215, then 7. Yeah, but that entry was horrible. If you're entering in a downtrend, unless you entered whenever it broke that downtrend. But even then, 210 entry risk to reward was not in your favor at all. You had more risk than you had reward. And so it's something you need to keep on working on. Because I think it was yesterday and the day before that, you had poor entries too. And our RJR, I know he's not in here, but he needs to wait for confirmation. I know he entered this in the clear downtrend as well. That's something you guys have to, remember. You can't fight the trend. If you're buying in a downtrend, you're just trying to catch a falling knife, and it's probably not going to work out in your favor 9 times out of 10. Obviously, it did this time. Here's 220 break now on MMAT. Need to see it break that 222 next. Yeah, there's no reason to take an entry if you're in a clear downtrend. Yeah, it's all luck. Here's RXDX volume again. I'm going to take some RXDX on a pullback, risking 101.50. Targets are going to be 108 to 110 on RXDX. And RXDX rocketing. Here's 108. 108 target already hit on RXDX. And here's 110. 110 target hit on RXDX. Both targets already hit on RXDX. Yeah, it was a trend break after, but if you see that white line I drew, that's a clear downtrend. You entered on the trend break, but your risk to reward still was not in the positive. But our RJR, I think he entered while it was in the downtrend. Only because he saw a bounce, but it was still in a downtrend. So you just have to focus on risk to reward, and Mr. RR needs to focus on not entering in a downtrend. There's a 111.80 now on RXDX. That 115 level is next if it can clear that 110. Nice bounce there on MMAT if you guys are playing that. Back to 220 now on MMAT. So let's see if we can break this 220 now on MMAT and make that move towards 230. Here's 220 again on MMAT. Some buyers coming back in here. And I'm going to go ahead and raise my stops to my entry on MMAT. Just because if we do get another rejection below, I don't like it. That's a clear rejection, a clear fake out if we do. Now we're breaking this 220 here, 221. We want to break this 222 next. So I do have my stops at entry on MMAT, and we're looking for that 222 break. So it needs to hold this 217 area. Otherwise, clear rejection. Yeah, even if it doesn't, we'll still be out with break even. A little bit green. Alright, so let's see if we can break the 220 and move to 230. But we need that 222 break. Yeah, we've got clear support at 217. Not to mention we have the EMA stacked at 217 as well. Nice on SMMT. You're over 220 now. Testing that area of risk on MMAT. Need to hold the 217, and I'm out. Out of MMAT at break even. Didn't get the break I wanted, but it is what it is. We managed to trade nice. Yeah, make sure your VWAP is VWAP 14. Otherwise, it'll be different. Yeah, I'm small green on MMAT from entry at 217. I got some scaled at around 221. And MMAT definitely can still break that 222, but I'm just not really a fan of the price action up there. SMMT and MMAT, the volume leaders at the moment. Looks like MMAT might break that 222 here. I'm not in. Yeah, see rejection again. I doubt it's going to make a move much higher. RNAZ hitting scanners. I'm going to pull it up and check it out in a second. All right, so in our RNAZ, I mean, yeah, I mean we have that 64% strength or support. I mean, if we can see strength 66, then I'd be interested in it. We've got a decent amount of upside room to about 72 cents, 72 to 77. All right, I'm gonna watch it here. All right, look for some in 66 area. And targets are 72 to 77. Smaller size.